Britt Westbourne is gone. Esme can't remember anything. Josslyn finally does the right thing. And Willow gets some really good news to end out the week. This is the Port Charles Podcast. What's going on, fellow GH fans? This is Eric, the GH guy from Port Charles Podcast here with a week in review for January 6th. And we're just going to jump right into it. So we are remembering Dr. Britt Westbourne. Britt is gone, victim of the hook killer. And this week, we've kind of gone through the fallout. You know, she was killed earlier in the week, and then we're going through the grieving process leading up to the funeral. We've got, of course, her mom is just completely distraught. And I really feel like we're going to get parts of the old Liesel back a little bit. We kind of saw that at the end of the week when she wanted to go after Esme. Thank God she was able to be stopped, because a lot of people are, and I said this before, a lot of people are really going to feel bad when the truth comes out that Esme was not the hook killer. So we've got Liesel grieving over things. Maxie and Brad come together to kind of plan the funeral, to plan what Britt is going to be buried in as far as her clothes, what she's going to wear. And Nina sits both of them down and says, look, there's something you both don't know. And she tells them about Britt having Huntington's disease. And I got to say, first of all, hats off to Perry Shin for his acting this week upon finding out about Britt's death. And that dude, you want to talk about somebody who makes you feel it? That guy makes you feel it. There is no wasted motion in what he does as an actor. And the more I see of him on screen, the more I really, really appreciate his talent as an actor. And I wish they would give him more to do. I wish they would give him like a really good, deep, long storyline that he can really sink his teeth in. Because, I mean, you tell me, you watched it, you saw his reaction, you saw him just wrestling with that emotion and those feelings of, she was my best friend. How do I go on without her? She was my one person. How do I continue to live without her in my life? And just that raw emotion. I honestly, I was just in awe. I don't know how he does it, but then again, that's why he is the amazing actor that he is. Again, hats off to Perry Shan for his performance this week. Just blew it out of the water. I mean, like I said, you want to talk about somebody who can make you feel that emotion coming through the screen. That was him. So hats off to Perry and his performance this week. It's just, I really thought we would get a little bit more of that from Maxie. But I guess it does make sense in a way, since Brad really was that close with Britt. And so, we've still got the funeral coming up, which I'm sure they'll show Monday or Tuesday. And that's going to be another emotional scenes from people. But Dr. Britt Westbourne, it was never a dull moment when she was around, that's for sure. She came into town, she wrecked shop from day one. With the way she interfered with Patrick and Robin's relationship and all of that. And it was really nice to see the character evolve over time. And of course, with her coming down with Huntington's disease and kind of seeing that full evolution of a character who started off as really just very unlikable. There was really nothing about Britt that made you go, you know what, I feel bad for her. I see her side of things. She just always constantly lashed out at everybody. But it was nice to kind of see towards the end of the run, her kind of come to grips with her own mortality, to realize that, hey, you got to be nicer to people, because we don't know if tomorrow's going to be promised. So I'm going to have some more news about Kelly Tebow coming up in just a little bit, as to why she really left General Hospital, and it's not what we think. So stick around for that, because there is there's another reason. It isn't just about going to do a primetime show. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that one. Now we've got Esme, who showed up in the Haunted Star. She collapsed, rushed to the hospital. Now all of a sudden she doesn't remember anything, or does she? It's hard to tell right now, because I took this down in my notes watching yesterday's show. If she's faking, she's doing a pretty good convincing job of faking. I almost think that she isn't. So if it does come out and it's like, okay, she has been faking it the whole time, then hey, you got me. I fell for it. But her interactions with Elizabeth are really what make me kind of feel like she's not faking this memory loss thing. Because she's faked it before. She's faked, stuff with the baby and things like that. And Elizabeth's called her on it, and she immediately cops to it. And this time she's not copping to it. She genuinely looks like she doesn't know who she is, what the hell's going on, how did this baby get in her, why is she being accused of all these killings all over town. I think that at some point she's going to regain her memory. But she's not going to let anyone know that she remembers. Or if she does regain her memory, she's not going to let anybody know except Nicholas and Elizabeth. And she's going to get them to do her bidding to stay in her good graces, so that she doesn't turn them in for what they've done to her and holding her captive at Windermere. So what do you think? Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Do you think Esme's faking it? Do you think that she really doesn't remember anything? I will tell you one thing. This is one thing that Esme does remember. She does remember to hit that like button on this video and subscribe. That's one thing she does remember. So now we're moving on to the love triangle, if you will. It's not really a triangle. It's more of a straight line between Dex, Josslyn, and Cameron. So I've been saying for the last week or so, Josslyn needs to do the right thing. She's an adult now. She needs to act like one. Man up, break up with Cameron, do the right thing. And she finally actually did that. And I thought it was going to be real kind of cheesy, the breakup thing. But when I watched it and I sat back afterwards and I kind of thought about it, I was like, that was, I could believe that. I could believe a breakup like that. Now, granted, she didn't come clean and say, hey, I have feelings for Dex, or, hey, I just came from sleeping with him. By the way, I love the line of Scotty telling Cameron that, I thought you wanted to bring your New Year's in with a bang. Meanwhile, his girlfriend's off bringing her New Year's in with a bang. But she tells him, look, we've grown apart. I thought we could make it work. I tried. We're just growing apart, and I can't ignore it anymore. So they broke up. And hey, good on her. I think it's a little too late, but at least she finally did the right thing and broke up. So hopefully now we can kind of move past this whole, I don't know if I want to call it a kind of an emotional struggle, I guess, for lack of a better term, with, oh my God, I have feelings for Dex, but I still, I care about Cameron, but I don't want to be with him, but I want to be with Dex, but I shouldn't be with Dex, and my mom and Sonny don't want me to be with Dex, and I mean, it's just, it's not going to be smooth sailing from here on out, I can tell you that, because it involves Josslyn. Nothing's ever smooth sailing where she's concerned, but at least she did the right thing. She finally broke up with Cameron, and this dude needs to move on. I don't know if there's any other opportunities in Port Charles. Trina's taken. Josslyn's taken. I mean, who else is there? I mean, maybe down the line Esme, but I've already said my thoughts about Esme in a previous video. So now hopefully we can get past all of that nonsense that we've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks between the three of them. So at the end of Friday's episode, and by the way, I'm just going to say, ABC television, get your stuff together. I can't say the words I want to say here because I want to make this video acceptable for all viewers. Get your together. Stop interrupting General Hospital on an almost weekly basis with nonsense, okay? Just complete nonsense. If you want to interrupt and you want to put politics and non-emergencies on your network, please save that for the news, okay? Or go put it on ABC News Network or whatever streaming service you got. Stop interrupting General Hospital. You don't interrupt any other shows, but you constantly interrupt this one. I missed the first 30 minutes of Friday's episode because you people want to interrupt our show. Okay, so I digress. Sorry, I had to get that out for the betterment of myself, for the betterment of the show. I just had to get that out. Just a little small rant. Thank you for bearing with me. So now, at the end of Friday's show, Willow got some good news. She has a match. Not sure who that match would be, but I can tell you one thing. One thing I know for sure about this match is that match would hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. That's what that match would do. So I don't know who this match is, and maybe we'll find out in the next week or so. But I'm really interested. I'm intrigued because here Drew has been kind of just racking his brain, doing everything he can to find somebody that could be a match, and all of a sudden one shows up in the system. Could this be a long-lost relative? Oh, you know what? Okay, this just popped up in my mind. What if the match is Esme? Esme has not been to General Hospital until just now, at least that I know of. Maybe she has. But now they've run blood work on her. They've run tests on her. They have her DNA. They have her blood samples. They have all this medical information on Esme. And now all of a sudden, something pops up and a match is made for Willow. That's a really interesting idea there. I dig that one a little bit. But we know Esme is not Nina's daughter like we know Willow is. So I don't know how they would weave something like that. But I don't know. It could just be nothing. But it's just funny. The timing of it just kind of popped into my head all of a sudden. So that would be an interesting twist if somehow Esme was the match for Willow. Would she give up her bone marrow to help a complete stranger? And if so, how would these two have even been related or anything like that? I mean, I don't know a whole lot about bone marrow. It seems to me just from this storyline that Willow has needed a relative in order to match, but maybe not. Maybe that's not how the process goes, and I could be way off. I'll admit I know very little about medical stuff, so yeah, but I don't know, it just popped into my mind, so I thought I'd throw that out there. But good news for Willow. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will help her. She can have a happy and healthy baby, and we can keep Kate McMullen on the show for a very, very, very long time. As you know, I love me some Willow. So that's kind of it, folks. This week we had Britt getting killed by the hook killer. We now know it's Heather Weber. Esme and her new memory loss thing is interesting. She recognized Kevin Collins, but not for the reasons she thinks she does. And Kevin kind of thinks, okay, she remembers me because of Ryan. So now I think Kevin's going to kind of look at, okay, we need to explore that avenue right there. Why does she recognize my brother when she sees me? And what's the connection between Esme and Ryan Chamberlain? So that'll be interesting to explore. Hopefully they'll get to that in the next couple of weeks. One thing you should absolutely get to is to hitting that like button and that subscribe button on this video right now. And also follow me on Twitter at OriginalGHGuy. So now I'm going to get to the news about Kelly Thibault that I was talking about earlier. And when news came out that she was leaving, the story was that she was leaving to go back to her primetime show, Station 19, that she had been doing for the last, I guess, year or two. And she was going to commit to that full time. But now a story has broke, and this is from soapsknows.com, and Charlie Mason actually broke this story. And I'm going to read it. General Hospital's Kelly Thibault reveals the surprising real reason she left. So, according to this article from Charlie Mason, hat tip to Charlie for breaking this story, it wasn't just about the primetime show, and it really had very little to do with that. Kelly told Soap Opera Digest that she's in love. She's in a relationship, and I guess her boyfriend or whatever does not live in the United States and cannot travel here often. So she wants more time to be able to travel to him, which is perfectly understandable. Totally get that. Also, Kelly wanted to pursue options outside of daytime television. Again, no harm, no foul there. And she just felt like being under contract with General Hospital and with ABC would not allow her the freedom and the time to do those things that she wanted to. And hey, good for you, Kelly. You did an amazing job while you were on General Hospital. And I'm sure I can speak for a lot of GH fans. We wish you nothing but the best success you could achieve out there. And if you're in love, God bless you. Go follow your heart. That seems to be what you're doing with both your personal life and your career. And that's amazing. That is great news. So, not mad at you for either one of those. No hating here. We enjoyed you. And I think that's probably why the writers opted to kill off the Britt character rather than just having her leave. Because I don't think Kelly would have probably ever come back. And, again, she doesn't owe us that. She gave us everything she had while she was here. Enjoyed watching her performances over the years. And, of course, I wish Kelly nothing but the best success. And so, again, anybody that wants to follow their heart, I'm all on board for it. I am fully supportive of that, as I'm doing by coming here and doing this show and doing the podcast and being active on Twitter, which, by the way, you can follow me at OriginalGHGuy. And, and I'm sure one thing that Britt would have done if she would have had time was hit the like button and the subscribe button on this show. I mean, I would have even asked Britt to hit that notification bell because I just find that notification bell to be extremely annoying, and I hate when people ask you to hit it. So I would never ask you to hit it. Don't hit that bell. You don't need notifications from me. Just hit the like and subscribe button, and you always know where to find me. So anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. That was the week of January 6th in General Hospital in Port Charles. Thank you for tuning in. The YouTube channel is taking off so well right now. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the subscribers. Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed right now. Like over 50 subscribers in the first week. And I know to a lot of people that may be like 50 subscribers. Dude, 50 subscribers is everything. I am brand new to this whole thing. I've never done a YouTube channel before. I've never done a podcast before. So for me, when I'm looking at my YouTube and I see 50 subscribers, I'm like freaking out. This is crazy in 1 week. And my Dex video, the video I did on who is Dex's father, is an eyelash away from 4,000 views. And I feel like I'm checking that every 5 minutes because I'm so excited. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for following me on Twitter at OriginalGHGuy. Thank you for liking the videos, for commenting. I love interacting with all of you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everybody have an amazing, amazing weekend, whatever you do. Thank you for tuning in. I am Eric, and this is the Port Charles Podcast.